Writer's effect questions can be tricky because there are so many areas you can be asked to comment on. They could be based on a setting, character, or atmosphere, to name but a few, and you never fully know what to expect when you open up that exam paper. However, there are tricks to ensure that you can deal with the unexpected and cope with whatever is thrown at you on the day.
The word effect is an interesting one. What does it actually mean? Whether you are being asked to consider the effect of a character on the audience or the effect of a setting, you are being asked to consider exactly the same thing. An effect encourages us to react in a certain way. It triggers a feeling or emotion in us and makes us think. These reactions are not random, as the creator of a text has carefully manipulated language to ensure they spark these feelings. They're very clever people.
Some students say they're not interested in a certain passage of writing. The topic isn't interesting to them, so how can they possibly care enough to comment on the effect? The bottom line is you do have to care a little to get some kind of reaction from a text. But if you really can't, think about someone who is interested in the topic, a friend or family member perhaps. How might they react to the content? This can often be a good way of getting around this problem.
Students also worry about what they should talk about when considering effect. Well, you consider words. It seems almost too obvious to comment on words in an English exam. One word can spark a range of feelings and emotions, so don't be afraid to talk a lot about a little. Students often feel obliged to discuss lots of words and phrases, but you really don't have to. Try picking out a word or two that you have lots to say about, and you'll soon be on your way to a successful answer. You could also comment on the effect of a sentence structure and type. Often a writer manipulates their sentences to ensure they give maximum impact. For example, the effect of a short, snappy sentence is often to create suspense in a tense atmosphere. A longer, more complex sentence can be used to add detailed description to a setting. Comment on these in your exam. They're really interesting and can get you lots of marks.
In addition, writers can use all sorts of language devices to engage their audience. For example, similes and metaphors can help to create an image in the mind of the audience. Remember, a simile is when we say something is like or as something else. For example, as light as a feather. A metaphor is when an item is described as if it actually is something else. For example, a mountain of homework. These images help us to consider effect even further and are really interesting to reflect on when exploring the effect a writer has created. Remember, go into detail with these questions and write a lot about a little. You don't need to go overboard, but you do need to consider the impact that the writer may have on an audience through the devices chosen.